Hello, and welcome to another episode of Chicken Bros. My name is David Heath.
And I'm off to see the world. I'm off by my dreams.
Nice. Now, this is a very special episode, particularly for the both of us, because this is a movie that we love, but also are kind of shy to talk about.
This is, without a doubt, one of my most favorite animated movies of all time. It's beautiful. It's engaging. And, well, it's part of a fandom that means a lot to me as a person.
And it's amazingly animated.
Yeah. And the animation still holds up. How many movies... This movie was made in 1987? So, I was going to say 84, but that's slightly better.
Yeah.
So, how many movies from the 80s have animation that good that still holds up?
Right.
By the way, we're going to be talking about the Chipmunk Adventure. Dun, 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 dun,
The Chipmunk's
dun.
technically first theatrical release.
Well, wasn't? Yeah.
Yeah, this was in theaters.
Because Wolfman and Frankenstein were straight to DVD.
Yeah, and after this.
Yeah.
And yeah, this was the Chipmunk movie that came out before those CGI pieces of crap. Which we're not going to talk about on this show. I mean, unless...
Nope. No. I'm not dragging my favorite fandom through the mud like that.
Alright. So,
Now,
this movie
before-
is... Huh?
I want to just explain something.
Okay.
The reason why I'm so into the Chipmunk fandom, for you Chicken Bros fans, because honestly, the Chipmunk fandom is either dead or it's near dying, because I can, aside from David and a couple of our other friends, I don't know any other fans of the Chipmunks.
Right.
But they mean a lot to me, because my first memory that I can remember of my life is renting Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet Frankenstein from the Hollywood video store in my town, which is no longer there, because video stores died like 10 years ago. When I was in middle school, I had no friends. But that's when the CGI movies came out and reminded me of the Chipmunks, of the fandom that I loved so much as a little kid. So it was kind of like my comfort zone. The Chipmunks were kind of my comfort zone during middle school.
Right.
So, and also I've been writing Chipmunk fan fiction since I was in the 7th grade, and I'm still going strong. So the Chipmunk fandom means a lot to me. And keep in mind, before I didn't even know this movie existed until about, I want to say maybe, probably when I was in the 8th grade, because that's when I saw all these Chipmunk animated videos on YouTube. You know, the ones that are like Chipmunk covers of popular songs or whatever.
Yeah, the songs that are just pitched up.
Yeah, but they had like clips from the Chipmunk Adventure, which, as we said before, is fantastically animated.
Yeah.
So that got me wondering, like, what is this beautiful? Because I remember the show from when I was a kid, and the show does not look that good.
No, I mean, it's not badly animated by any means, but it's animated like any other TV show.
From the 80s, anyway.
Yeah, from the 80s, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's why we're doing this. That's why this movie means so much to me, and that's probably why I'm going to gush like hell over this movie.
Yeah. As for me, I mean, I've been a fan of Chipmunk since I was 5 years old at least. The first thing I ever saw them was the Chuck Jones animated Christmas special with the golden harmonica, for all you Chipmunk fans out there who recognize that. And, I only had like certain specials on a VHS tape. Good God, VHS.
You're old, buddy.
Yeah, you realize how many kids are going to watch this, if they even do watch it, and go, what the hell is that? Ugh! Anyway, yeah, and then like after I turned 7, I saw nothing of the Chipmunks until those CGI movies came out. And then when I found out about YouTube, I also saw those Chipmunk videos with not just Chipmunk Adventure, but parts of the series and like other things mashed up into those videos.
Art. There's a lot of Chipmunk fan art.
Oh yeah. And
if you.
So like yeah, and I didn't know this movie existed until I just hit high school. So I do love it. I do like it. I think it's a great movie, and
I own it, for God's sake.
I want to own it. I don't know where to get it, but
I don't know where you can get it anymore, because I got it off of iTunes, but there's no good Chipmunk stuff on iTunes anymore. I've looked.
Great.
Believe me, I know. I've looked.
Nice reference. But yeah, Chipmunk Adventure. Basically, we're going into this assuming you know about the Chipmunks, because if you don't, you're in the wrong fucking place.
Oh yeah.
Quoted Samuel L. Jackson there.
This movie starts with their overworked father figure, Dave Seville, looking for, trying to pack because
he's packing for a trip.
Yeah, the taxi's going to be here any minute, and I'm not even packed.
What was the point of his trip again?
Knowing him, because he's a record producer, it was probably something music related.
Ooh, well, because this is what I'm thinking. Because that just hit me. He was in a different part of the world. You think maybe he was like looking at different places to like possibly like maybe the boy should do a world tour.
Maybe.
In that case, Alvin would have just been benefited from being patient.
Yeah, but this is Alvin we're talking about.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Alvin wants to go with Dave to see the world, but of course Dave's like, no.
Please, Dave, I need a little culture in my life. The Eiffel Tower, the Sistine Chapel, the Louvre in Rome.
The Louvre is in Paris, Alvin.
You see? I don't even know where the Louvre is.
Also, Chicken Bros fans, I mean, Noah has a reason, so I can't really say we, but for some reason, my favorite chipmunk is Simon. I really don't know why, but he just is.
I just like him because, well, honestly, when I was a kid, my favorite was Theodore because he wore a green shirt and green is my favorite color.
Right.
But when I got glasses myself, I saw Simon as kind of a role model.
Right.
So that's why he's my favorite chipmunk now. But originally, it was Theodore.
So when Dave goes away, he needs someone to take care of the boys, and that somebody, I don't know why he chose her, but
is Miss Miller, who is this sweet but incredibly forgetful and probably half-deaf old lady who, as we see later in this movie, can't drive for shit.
Yes.
Though I am extremely jealous because she has a sick 1950s Cadillac. My favorite type of car.
Not me sitting over here not knowing jack shit about cars.
I don't know. I just know that car's nice.
So yeah, Dave is off on his trip. Alvin is sulking in his little self-absorbed misery. But
yeah, and Miss Miller's like, "Don't worry, dear. You'll see the world soon enough." And
then there are a trio of girls that Miss Miller is the caretaker of, the Chipettes.
Okay, that's true, but I don't know if because when they first were introduced in the '80s series, by that's what they were created for, was the '80s series.
Right.
They were just 3 female chipmunks who they used to live in a tree, like in the park.
Right.
Kind of like how they do now in the new show.
Right.
Until I think there was a situation where they needed a mother figure, like for a dance or a school function.
Right.
So I haven't watched that episode yet, but eventually they do get adopted by Miss Miller. But my point is, I don't know if she's their caretaker in this show or not. Well, I would say not, because if they were, then they probably would have been with her when she comes to look after the boys, instead of just appearing when they're playing the game.
Her, weren't they?
They weren't. Trust me.
Okay. But yeah, the movie does go to them playing this arcade game. I'm assuming they're in some sort of diner?
Oh, yeah. This is like an old... like a soda shop, which you do not see.
A soda shop, yeah.
And Adam and Brittany are playing this game that's called Around the World in 30 Days, which is like a balloon race simulation. You go around the world, you collect points, and Brittany wins and Alvin shoots his mouth off because
he's Alvin.
Because he's Alvin. Like, you'd never beat me. This was a real live race.
Yes, and their conversation's overheard by 2. What do you call them?
They're Yermans.
No, I mean, what's the technical term? Like what? Diamond smugglers?
Smugglers, yeah.
Yeah. They're trying to pull off this diamond heist, and they...
Yeah. Last year, Jamal robbed us of $4,000 worth of gorgeous, spectacular, priceless gems. Yeah, please, not here.
Klaus and Claudia.
And they overhear Alvin and Brittany arguing, and Claudia's like, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Ugh, don't be ridiculous. They're only children." Exactly. Who would suspect them?
Oh, God. That pure evil.
Oh, yeah. Pure evil.
And so
then, basically, they lie to the Chipmunks and Chipettes. Like which one of you really would win a race around the world? Which they'll fund because they're quite wealthy and very bored.
So
So basically,
Alvin sees this as an opportunity, not just to prove himself better than Brittany, but also to see the world. And of course, he
also,
drags Simon and Theodore with him.
and also to win $100,000.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. What was that line that Simon said? I can't believe you're.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Alvin has to somehow trick Dave into, or not? No. Okay, he does have. He has to trick Dave into faking a phone call so that Miss Miller will let them do this trip, right?
Right. Yeah, basically what he's doing, he's calling Dave to get him to say certain things, then he'll rework it into a sentence that Miss Miller will later hear that will enable them to go travel the world.
Which, in today's world, would be a lot easier to do because of the technology we have at our fingertips. But this movie takes place in the 80s.
Yeah.
So
technology was not as cutting edge as it is now.
So it was this. I just.
What was the line? It was like, I can't believe you deceived Miss Miller.
Miller for a package of Tutti Frutti, Theodore.
2 packages.
You can't get mad at Theodore.
You really can't. He's a lovable butterball.
And when in that little face he makes when he pulls up the packages.
So yeah, the next morning they use the tape recording to trick Miss Miller, even though it's really difficult.
Yeah,
David,
because
are you drunk?
You drunk?
But it does work.
It does work. Then, when they're getting ready for the race, Theodore's like, Simon, I feel kind of funny about tricking Miss Miller. It's called guilt, Theodore.
Oh, that broke my heart.
Broke my heart, poor guy.
And so they get ready for it's a balloon race, so they actually do use hot air balloons.
Yeah.
So it really is like that video game.
Yep.
And I think what did Simon try to warn Jeanette about a hurricane, and then Brittany was like, eh.
Yeah. Like, Simon, which route should we take to Bermuda? And then Simon's all like, if you insist on going, don't take the easterly route. There's a hurricane coming from that direction. But Brittany's all, thanks for your advice, Simon. And then when she's walking away, what a liar. He's as bad as Alvin. I'm like,
did you forget who you were talking to?
Yeah. Who the fuck you think you're talking to?
That's Alvin. Yeah, so, and then the race is on. And then, what did they tell them in order to get them to put the dolls in the right places?
Basically, it was to make sure you travel completely around the world, deposit one doll to verify that you were there and take the other team's doll. So...
Oh. To make them think it was a part of the race. I gotcha.
So the girls would... Because the girls have dolls that look like the boys, and the boys have dolls that look like the girls.
Right. And so I don't remember the different places they traveled to, but they hit a lot of big sites.
Yeah,
I think the first place they landed in was Mexico, wasn't it? The boys?
That's where the boys landed, yeah.
Land next to the... What is it?
Land a balloon by the fountain. Crash.
Like I said, in the tree. Simon's sass in this movie is something else.
His sass in his entire fandom is part of what makes him so relatable as a character. If you're or a brother at all, you understand what.
Also, I feel so bad for Theodore because the poor guy is hungry the whole trip and he can't eat.
No, I feel so freaking bad for this kid.
He's trying to eat anything, even an apple, and a fucking eagle snatches it up.
That's later, during my favorite song in
I know, but there's so many instances where he tries to eat and the food is either inaccessible or it gets taken away.
Yeah,
and
poor
it's
kid.
Poor Theo. Ugh.
The boys go to Mexico, but the girls get blown off in a hurricane.
Should have listened, Brittany.
Yep. Then they go scuba diving, and this is one of the problems I have with this movie. I know they're 8-year-olds and they're young, so it's really not that big an issue, but for me personally, their swimsuits are kind of two-piece, and I don't think it's right to have...
No. Just Brittany's. Jeanette and Ellen are in one pieces. Only Brittany, the slut's in two-piece.
Yeah, well, it's still a little weird for me.
Well, yeah. But I'd imagine why Jeanette would be weird for you.
But, okay, yeah.
But wasn't there a shark?
Yeah, it was a very well animated shark too, and it almost ate Brittany, but
Damn it, so
unfortunately,
close.
I know, so close.
And there are these
Yeah,
two thugs that are like spying on them.
yeah,
I don't remember what that was about.
it was Jamal, but we'll get to him in later.
There was
He,
two of them, wasn't there? Was like two bad guys or something.
well, they're Jamal's goons.
Oh, gotcha. But yeah, there's this really cool song called "Off to See the World," which is actually a really catchy song that plays during like a montage of their stops.
Yeah.
That's the thing about the Chipmunks, if you don't know, is that they're musicians technically, and they always have awesome songs.
They started off as a music, as like, music.
Yeah,
like,
kind of like a musical gag, because like back in the 50s, music used to be recorded on a cassette, and or cassette or vinyl. And technically, in theory, if you sped that up, it would sound, So
yeah, so Ross Bagdasarian Sr., God rest his soul, got the idea to do this and created Alvin and the Chipmunks.
That's true. And his son, Ross Jr., turned it into this.
Yep. God bless the Bagdasarians.
Yes. And where do they meet? In Athens?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
The girls, the nightlife, the excitement. Alvin, you've never been to Athens. Well, it looks like a city I'd love.
Of course
then
it
they
is, Alvin.
Brittany and Alvin get in a tussle over an apple, and Simon asks Jeanette, have you guys had any trouble along the way? And Jeanette's about to tell him about the thugs, but then Brittany covers her mouth, like, it's been smooth sailing, and you? And then Simon's like, well, actually, I get the feeling, and then Alvin covers his mouth, and then he shoots his mouth by saying, we're the hottest act in rock and roll, but you don't have that problem, do you? Sure we... Ha, no you don't. Oh, right, Mr. Popularity, how much you want to bet we can out rock and roll you? And that starts my other favorite song in this sequence.
Yes, and also, again, screws over Theodore.
Come on, Theodore, bud my couscous.
Poor Theo. But yes, this other song is called... It's technically called the Girls and Boys of Rock and Roll. But each verse is like sung from one's perspective.
And what I love about it is, like, Dave's buying a souvenir or something. They're for my three boys. I want to get them something special because they're stuck at home. The kids brush past them and knock down the tent. Hey, that looks like my boys.
Really, Dave?
How many anthropomorphic chipmunks in long winter sweaters
in primary colors?
Well,
okay, two of them are primary colors. One's not.
I mean, in light, like, okay, this might be hard for you to understand, David, but, like, as far as pigment goes, yeah. But as far as the colors of light goes, like...
Colors of light?
Yeah. The primary light colors that our eyes can perceive are red, green, and blue.
Right, but the primary colors on a color wheel are red, blue, and yellow.
Right. Yeah, but that's different. That's pigment. Pigment and light are two different things. It's physics. I just took a physics course.
Did you really have to bring physics into the Chipmunks?
Sorry,
Thank you, Simon.
I just took a physics course. I just graduated from college.
Everyone applaud for Noah. He graduated.
Yay! And me and Jeanette are going to go all the... Well, she's going to get her master's.
But anyway, this song, they take off in their balloons again to continue their race, and Dave's still like, I could have sworn that was my boys.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would, Dave. Or Alvin would.
I don't like this part because, like, god dang it, Miss Miller, you are so freaking absent-minded. It's like, are the boys available? Available for what? Because she thinks that chipmunks are with them because of the earlier phone call.
Right.
Get some rest, will you? Yeah. Oh, that poor man is losing his marbles.
Yeah, he's not the only one. And, I can't remember much of the movie after that.
The boys go to the jungle where Theodore gets kidnapped and, Prince of Plenty.
Right.
The girls land in Egypt where they get...
Oh, yeah.
They get put in harem outfits.
Yeah, to charm snakes.
Okay, I do like that song, though, because it's one of the only times Jeanette gets the primary singing role.
That's true, but still, I can tell why someone would get uncomfortable during that scene.
Well, I don't like that scene because they're 8-year-olds and freaking harem outfits.
Right. Also, I think it's bizarre. No, you know what? No, I'm not going to go there. No. Glad I stopped myself. But isn't that the point where they find out that the dolls have diamonds in them?
Yeah, because what are they? Because when they were in Egypt, the sheik, that's the little prince that wants to marry Brittany. In 10 years, I will make her one of my wives. Pint-sized dwarf. I love it. I love it.
I mean, Jeanette, Eleanor, we wouldn't have complained if you'd left her.
Well, right. That's
But I can see why they didn't.
me and our other brother, Austin, made a fanfic about that.
Yeah.
We had some fun with that. Anyway, while they were there, the sheik gives Brittany a baby penguin,
Oh.
and Eleanor's like, I gotta get this kid back to Antarctica. Which leads into a song that is beautiful, but it makes me sad.
Oh.
Because it's all about moms. And yeah, it just makes me miss my mom. I really gotta call her more often. I know I'm luckier than most.
Yeah, you are.
Anyway, after they reunite the baby penguin with his family, some of Klaus and Claudia's thugs, who were tailing them because they were going off course,
Right.
because Antarctica is pretty freaking off course.
It is, isn't it?
Are trying to attack them, and while in the struggle, they're trying. One of the dolls rips, and the diamonds are shown, and then Brittany's like, "Wait a minute, these are full of diamonds." Eleanor's like, "Open a chipmunk doll." The chipmunk dolls are full of money, so there's thousands of dollars in each of these, and if we're in danger, so are the boys. We have to find them. Oh yeah, the boys are in big trouble.
Well, Alvin and Simon aren't not as in danger as Theodore.
Well, okay, yeah, but so Theodore gets kidnapped and is the Prince of Plenty, and Alvin
and Simon.
Alvin and Simon are his slaves, which means they're in laws, which is little risky, but not as risky as the harem outfits.
Right.
But then they find out that the Prince of Plenty is supposed to be sacrificed on the full moon, and Alvin over dead body.
Yeah, you mean over our dead bodies?
And then to distract the savages, they sing "Woolly Bully,"
and somehow it works.
Yeah, because then the Chipettes save their asses.
Yeah, isn't that always how it is? Women come in to save the man's ass.
That's how it should be.
Yep.
Because
And so they try to get back to, I don't know where they ended. They ended up at some kind of airport.
Yeah, in Los Angeles.
That's where in Los Angeles. And they meet up with Klaus and Claudia, and they're like, "Yeah, cut the bullshit. We know the truth."
Yeah, and then they get captured by Klaus and Claudia, and that's where we realize that the Jamal they were talking about, who we thought until about now was like a rival smuggler, is actually an Interpol agent.
And
he's a cop.
He's a cop. It's a fuzz.
So all his thugs were cops. So you think they probably could have approached the situation a little differently instead of stalking the chipmunks and maybe I don't know.
I don't know if they knew that the kids were being played.
I mean, they're kids, so. Okay, anyway.
You braid a kid to do anything from a young age, it doesn't matter.
That's true.
But anyway, Jamal, I'm pretty sure, catches Klaus and Claudia.
Only because Miss Miller is a terrible driver and was going the wrong way and almost nailed Klaus and Claudia's car.
Which is right. I forgot about that.
It's funny because when they're swerving to miss her, all Miss Miller gets is a cracked mirror while they get freaking totaled. But Miss Miller's like, "My car! I hope you have insurance, Buster!"
Those old Cadillacs, man, they're made out of freaking steel. Not literally, but...
Also, she didn't crash as bad as they did.
No. And then, how does Dave get back there? Because I know he shows up at some point.
Well, again, he was getting off at the airport because it's Los Angeles Airport. That's where he lives. And then when he sees that Klaus and Claudia have kidnapped the kids, he gets in Jamal's car and kind of goes after them.
And so I'm sure Alvin got grounded.
Oh, Alvin and Brittany both probably got in deep shit.
Yeah.
But it was what I thought was sad is like Miss Miller's crying because the truth comes out, and she goes, "I can understand this deception from Alvin, but not you, Theodore." Poor Theodore's bawling his eyes out.
You imagine Simon's just standing there like, okay, I'll just stay out of
Maybe
this.
maybe you should let Dave drive, Miss Miller. I wouldn't think of it. Besides, driving relaxes me.
Good, because it doesn't relax
Then,
them.
as the movie ends, Alvin's, like, what about the money? What about the money? And then it ends with the ever popular Dave yelling,
Alvin!
Alvin!
Yeah. Oh, Alvin.
Oh, Alvin.
Will he ever learn?
If he did, there wouldn't be much of a show.
That's true. But that's the Chipmunk Adventure.
Still one of the best movies I have ever seen.
Still really holds up. It really does. And if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it, because it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, but good luck finding it. It's an old movie.
Yeah, eBay exists.
Yeah, but it's probably expensive. A lot of Chipmunk DVDs are expensive on eBay. I've looked.
Believe me, I know. I've looked.
I have.
I was just making the joke.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Like, I actually have bought some off of eBay, and they're like $30.
Hey.
And that's the cheapest ones I found. Some of them are over like I've seen some in the $100 range.
Probably like the really old ones.
Probably. I mean,
But
it's the 80s, so it's all pretty old.
That's true. Well, that's this episode. We'll see you guys next time on Chicken Bros.